Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Surrey Mayor's State of the City Address. My name is Jamie Terrace, former BC Lion and current Director of Community Partnerships for the BC Lions Football Club. I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on traditional and ancestral territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Katzie, Kwantlen, and Semiahmoo First Nations. If you'll indulge me, I'd like you to turn to your neighbor and in a loud, clear voice say, "It's a great day." Thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of this morning's event. I want you to know I'm a proud Surrey resident, as my family and I have lived here for over 20 years. That's right. As well, the BC Lions Football Club, while we are delighted to represent the entire province of BC, we make our home here in Surrey. It's where we play and practice every day. We work very closely with the city and the Mayor's office to make sure that we are an important part of this community and that we give back to this community. So it's an important place for us to be. I've been asked to give an update a little bit on our upcoming season. Are there any Lions fans here this morning? Oh, wonderful. So just to let you know, the team has broken camp in Kamloops. They're on their way down this morning, actually. We have our final preseason game this Friday against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and then we will kick off the season on June 11th against the Edmonton Elks. Really looking forward to a great year, lots of changes on the club. For those that don't know, One Republic is going to be playing pre-game at our game on June 11th, and that will be part of your admission to the game. So that's kind of an exciting feature. And one of the other things that's going to be a very interesting story to follow this year is Nathan Rourke, born in Victoria, BC, will be the first Canadian quarterback to start in the CFL, I think, since Russ Jackson. So I think that's a very exciting storyline as well. In a few moments, we will hear from Mayor Doug McCallum for this year's State of the City. But before we get started, I'd like to recognize some of our elected officials and special guests who are here with us today. I would just ask that we go through the list because we have a good list here. And then at the end, if we can give everyone a round of applause to recognize them. So the councillors, first of all, Mayor Doug McCallum is with us, obviously. Councillor Linda Annis, Councillor Doug Elford, Councillor Brenda Locke, Councillor Mandeep Nagra, Councillor Alison Patton, Councillor Laurie Guerra, Jenny Sims, the MLA from Surrey Panorama, Gordie Hogue, the former MLA, former MP, and former Mayor of White Rock, and all that those credentials mean is that he's had more free breakfast than anyone. Please give them all a round of applause for their service. Thank you. Events like the State of the City would not be possible without our generous sponsors. We'd like to take a minute to recognize them. Our presenting sponsor, FortisBC. Give them a round of applause, please. Our community partners, Kwantlen Polytechnic University, Simon Fraser University, and the University of British Columbia. We thank you all for your generous support. The city is very fortunate to have such reputable educational institutions support events such as this. At this time, I'd like to invite Doug Slater, the Vice President, External and Indigenous Relations from FortisBC, up to the podium to say a few words. Doug.
Good morning, everybody. It is not too late to say that I'm very pleased today to be here in person. Again, my name is Doug Slater. I'm the Vice President of External and Indigenous Relations at FortisBC. I'm happy to be representing FortisBC here today as we continue to engage on important discussions on how we can work together to advance a cleaner tomorrow safely and affordably with an eye on economic growth and the ongoing well-being of residents. FortisBC has a head office in Surrey, and that's where I live and work. And like about 900 of my colleagues in the Fortis Surrey office, I have a special relationship with this city. We're all here for the conversation around how Surrey can be a Canadian leader in economic prosperity while working towards a lower carbon future. And as an energy solutions provider with over 1.2 million customers, we're deeply invested in this conversation as well. And we're constantly looking for innovative ways where we can help reduce our customers' environmental impact affordably. A key driver of those affordable emissions reductions are renewable and low-carbon gases. Renewable natural gas, or RNG as it's known, is a carbon-neutral energy that can replace natural gas in our system over time, and it is derived from organic waste. RNG allows us to use the existing gas system, a multi-billion-dollar asset, to deliver cleaner energy to customers, and it's poised to deliver other energies in the future, such as hydrogen. RNG helps decarbonize the existing gas system we rely on and allows customers to use their current natural gas appliances without spending money on costly retrofits. I'd like to take a moment to thank the City of Surrey for their leadership. The Surrey Biofuel Facility was the first closed-loop organic waste facility in North America, and it is repurposing organic waste to provide us with around 75,000 gigajoules of carbon-neutral energy a year. That's enough energy to meet the natural gas needs of about 900 homes. This facility is an example of what's possible when we work together. Surrey embraced innovation and recycled problems into solutions. As a fellow pioneer in renewable and low-carbon gases, Surrey showed what those renewable and low-carbon gases can do for the city, the local economy, and the climate. And we're one of the largest utilities in BC, and we have a lot of knowledge and expertise in these matters. We also have infrastructure and resources in place to make meaningful emissions reductions today, but it can't be done alone. Working with partners like the City of Surrey is critical to our combined success. So thank you again for having me here today. I look forward to a lot of great conversations about our collective future and how we can work together to keep Surrey as a leader in climate action, economic growth, and public well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug, for providing all the insights on the great things that Fortis is doing in the City of Surrey. And as a matter of fact, the BC Lions Football Club has partnered with Fortis on a number of programs, so thank you for your commitment to the communities all across BC. Now, on to some more fascinating things about the City of Surrey. Surrey continues to be the place where it's happening, the place where businesses and residents are exemplifying go-getter culture and tenacity. Let's take a look at what's happening in Surrey and the energy being generated in this short video.
Announcing up to $1.3 billion in funding for the Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension.
UBC buys $70 million property for Surrey campus.
A new medical school will ensure 1,300 doctors and nurses over the next few years.
Awesome. Yeah, and with our training facility in the heart of downtown Wally, we've seen that development right around us. We actually have a building going up right in front of my window, and they actually were accusing many in the office of inappropriate behavior the other day with the smell of rotten gas, but it turned out that one of the gas lines had been cut outside during the building. Anyways, 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes, but it's wonderful to see the development going on in this city. Surrey certainly hasn't slowed down. There's a lot of investment and innovation happening here. I know that everyone is looking forward to hearing more about this, so it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Doug McCallum to the stage. Please welcome Mayor McCallum.
Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure. I was just thinking, I got up this morning and when I looked out, the sun was shining. I live at Crescent Beach and, the birds were singing and the sun was shining and even the seals were in the water beside Crescent Beach. And, we live in the best place in the world and it's a real pleasure to give my State of the City address today. I want to thank you, Jamie, and I want to thank you for the great job you are doing in emceeing this event. I would also like to thank our presenting sponsor, FortisBC, and our community partners of KPU, SFU, and UBC. It goes without saying that their support is crucial in making this event possible. Again, good morning to everyone here. I'm really excited about our city. I can get up here and dance and so forth because so much is happening. After 2 years of virtual gatherings, I'm extremely happy we are holding this event in person. And I'm also so glad to see you here today for the 2022 State of the City Address. COVID turned the world upside down and presented challenges on numerous fronts. For the first time in our lives, we were faced with quantities, lockdowns, and something called social distancing. Overnight, alcohol wipes and masks were on the top of everybody's shopping list. And we learned how to stay together by remaining apart. Thanks to the swift development of vaccines and a high vaccination rate, we are steadily emerging from the pandemic. I'm happy to report that the City of Surrey has not stood still the last 2 years. A testament to this city and its people, Surrey not only adopted, but we learned how to thrive during this turbulent time. Led by our city manager, Vincent Lalonde, the work of the city never stopped. Vincent, I want to thank you, the senior management team, and all City of Surrey staff for your outstanding work that has allowed Surrey to hit the ground running in 2022 and beyond. Despite the challenges from COVID pandemic, Council never strayed from the goals we set at the start of our mandate. The vision of what Council wanted to achieve in 4 years was ambitious and demanding. It required massive change, not for the sake of change, but what is best for Surrey. There has been no shortage of critics, doubters, and naysayers. I have always said you need to have a thick skin to do this job. And to the council members who have stood fast, I want to thank you. The promises we made to the people of Surrey, we have kept and we have delivered. The Surrey of today is unrecognizable to the Surrey of when I was first elected in 1999. Back then, Surrey was indeed a bedroom community of Vancouver. High-rise buildings were instant landmarks because there were so few of them. The same can be said of the lack of high-skilled, well-paying jobs located in Surrey. Today, you only need to look at our city center skyline to see how far Surrey has come. New construction cranes are continually popping up throughout the city. The Surrey-Langley SkyTrain line will be the first rapid transit this city has seen in 28 years. While Metro Vancouver is faced with a shortage of industrial land, the opposite is happening here. Not only does Surrey have space, but we are making even more land available for industrial and commercial use with a newly approved South Campbell Heights industrial area. Surrey's progress and rise in prominence has not gone unnoticed. Senior levels of government are investing in our city, from funding new housing to rapid transit expansion, from replacing an aging bridge to a new hospital. Surrey is on the radar. That comes as no surprise when you consider the tremendous growth we are experiencing. The latest consensus data shows that Surrey grew by nearly 10% from 2016 to 2021, which is the 5th highest growth rate in all of Canada during this period. Surrey is now the 11th largest city in Canada. Whether it is for work, affordability, or lifestyle reasons, more and more people are choosing to make Surrey their home. To accommodate this growth, Council has made available a wide spectrum of options throughout Surrey, whether it be single-family home, condominiums, townhouses, or whether you are here in the market to buy or to rent. There are a variety of housing choices available. In fact, in 2021, Surrey led the way with the highest number of new home construction for the metro region. Housing starts in Surrey totaled over 5,800 units last year, which is 6% more than Vancouver. The decision to build here is proving to be the right call because the demand is there. Case in point, the Radley development in City Centre. In early April, a pre-sale was held, and within 48 hours, all 193 units were sold out. In 2021, building permit values totaled more than $2 billion. Not only was this achieved in the midst of a pandemic, but it also marks the second highest recorded value in the city's history. The all-time record was set in the pre-pandemic year of 2019, where $2.3 billion building permit values were recorded. At City Hall, we are doing our part to ensure the development process is not bogged down with delays. Not knowing when a building permit will be issued has been a point of frustration for builders. Surrey's guaranteed permitting timelines program brings a level of certainty. Since it was introduced last October, the latest data shows that we are exceeding our targets. At the end of 2021, the average processing time for a single-family permit was nearly 15 weeks. The target set out in the guaranteed permitting timeline is 10 weeks. Thanks to the work of our dedicated staff in planning and development, the wait time is now averaging 8.9 weeks. Council's implementation of a guaranteed timeline will result in less idle time for builders and more accurate completion dates for people looking to move into their new home or business. To further help with the permitting process, Council has extended City Hall's opening hours to 8 p.m. once per week. Despite 2 challenging years of pandemic, there has been a surge in businesses setting up shop in Surrey. During this time, 1,500 new businesses opened up, bringing the total number of active businesses operating in Surrey to 21,000. The effort of the city's Intergovernment and Investment Department has helped bring 2,500 new jobs and over $100 million in private capital investments since 2019. The days when Surrey was a feeder community have fallen by the wayside. Along with the traditional industries, Surrey is now attracting advanced enterprises such as clean tech company Delta Controls, electric vehicle maker Damon Motorcycles, plant-based meat alternate companies such as Napa Punjab Foods and Boost Foods. Established businesses have also relocated here. In April, Walmart officially opened its 300,000 square foot, $175 million facility in Campbell Heights. This new state-of-the-art grocery distribution center is the provincial hub that will supply all 45 Walmart stores located in BC. For a city to thrive, I believe we all share a responsibility to better the place we live and work in. There is no question that starts with council. Our task is to deliver what we said we would do if elected, to make sure that the promises we made are kept and delivered, and we have done that. The tradition from RCMP to a city police started 3.5 years ago, and in this short time, the Surrey Police Service has evolved from a motion in council to a Surrey Police Service officers patrolling the streets. To date, 85 uniformed SPS officers have been deployed to work alongside the RCMP. That number will increase to 295 SPS officers in the next 12 months. The first class of new recruits were sworn in last month and are currently in training at the Justice Institute Academy. The transition of this magnitude has never in Canadian history been done, but it was time for a city closing in on a population of 600,000 people to have its own police service. The rationale for the switch is to bring governance, accountability, and decision-making to the local level, which are the same reasons cited by the Provincial Special Committee on Reforming the Police Act in their recommendation to switch from the RCMP to a provincial police service. I want to acknowledge Surrey RCMP Assistant Commissioner Brian Edwards and Surrey Police Chief Norm Lubinsky for their efforts on this massive file. The progress we are making in the transition has allowed us to create the Community Service Department. A major component of this new department is dedicated to enhancing our approach to supportive housing. Like any big city, Surrey has the social challenge of homelessness, a seemingly endless cycle of going from shelter to the streets and back again simply isn't working. It is important for council to make a priority to build that supportive housing that provides that individual a space where one can feel safe and be treated with respect. In partnership with all levels of government, the City of Surrey is delivering on this type of much-needed housing across our city. In 2021, a total of 139 supportive housing units opened in Surrey. This year, another 387 supportive transition housing units will come on stream. I am also proud to say that the province's new complex care model was put into service first in Surrey at the Foxglove Supportive Housing Facility. This new care model connects residents to nurses, social workers, and other health professionals under one roof. The other pillar of our frontline emergency services is the Surrey Fire Service. A key focus of the Surrey Fire is the prevention education. The Home Safe program canvasses door to door to ensure homes have working fire alarms, while the community property safety team works to reduce fire risks in distressed properties. During the pandemic, the men and women of the Surrey Fire also stepped up to play a significant role in the vaccination effort. Many of our firefighters were trained to give the shot to support Fraser Hell's vaccine drive in Surrey. And the department's mobile command post and the training van were redeployed as mobile clinics. While public health and safety are key components, other elements need to be in place to ensure the overall well-being of the city. The capital investments we have made shows the importance we have placed in improving the high quality of life in Surrey. 21 capital projects have been approved by council under the $428 million Surrey Invest program. The project range from a new athletic center at Bear Creek Park, a new Newton Community Center with an Olympic-sized pool, Indigenous carving centers, the Cloverdale Sports and Ice Complex, to smaller scope enhancements like new pickleball courts, bike parks, new playing surfaces for soccer and field hockey pitches, and I can go on and on. I also want to make note of new projects that have come on stream prior to the Surrey Invest program. Last October, the Clayton Community Center officially opened. Built to use 90% less energy, Clayton is also home to the newest branch of Surrey Libraries. 14,000 square foot library space has been made available to one of our fastest growing communities. Also of note, with the support of the city, Surrey Libraries has eliminated overdue fines. This will remove a barrier for many members of our community, and Surrey Libraries is looking to reach even more people by launching this year a mobile library service in Surrey. I can tell you that council and city staff takes immense pride in ensuring our residents can enjoy a healthy lifestyle, regardless of income and ability. We know that active and engaged citizens results in strong and healthy communities. I'm proud, I am really proud to say that Surrey is the first city in Canada to commit to building all new city facilities to meet the gold level of the Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification. A thriving city requires a transportation network that balances transit with the demands of well-maintained road network. With funding secured, and by the way, last week, it was officially announced that the money is secured. So this money is $4 billion for the new SkyTrain station. Construction of this new SkyTrain line will at once create a savings of $500 to $600 million, building it as one. Delivered 2 years, and the other big thing that was announced this week is by building it as one, we are going to save 2 years. And in fact, we will be starting to build that new line next year. Surrey the SkyTrain is long overdue in Surrey. The need for it has never been greater. According to TransLink, 2/3 of transit trips are into and within Surrey. Really interesting. 2/3 of the trips are just within Surrey, leaving only 1/3 travel time going out of the city. That pattern has remained steady since 2019. Equally important are the maintenance and upgrades to the roads and bridges we use to go to work, school, yoga class, hockey game, soccer match. In many cities, maintaining or improving roads is an afterthought. Potholes go unfilled season after season. Aging roads remain in constant state of disrepair. Council understands the value of well-maintained and updated road network that cars, buses, and transport trucks rely on every day. $10 million in road paving contracts was recently approved by Council, and a total of $116 million has been budgeted to upgrade Surrey's transportation network. A few projects of note. In South Surrey, the widening of the King George Boulevard and the replacement of the Nickelbacco River Bridge with a new 4-lane crossing. That had an old bridge for 50 years. I think it came from one of the world wars before. But finally, it's, as you've noticed if you've driven down there, it's gone, new bridge. In Newton, a much-needed east-west route has been added. The 84th Avenue connector will help reduce congestion on 88th Avenue. at King George Boulevard, this intersection has the dubious distinction of being the most dangerous intersection in BC. The City of Surrey has already begun early work in advance of the SkyTrain construction. Working with the province, the city completed improvements to Fraser Highway between 96 and 148th Street through Green Timbers, with more improvements to come. In fact, Council will be approving this afternoon $17 million contract to four-lane Fraser Highway the rest of the way to our city centre. This year has also been one for our maintenance crews. The long and cold winter resulted in 4,000 requests for pothole repairs. That is more than double a typical season, and I'm happy to tell you that all reported potholes have been filled on a temporary basis, and crews will now work on permanently filling the potholes through the summer. The number of projects and initiatives we have launched are numerous, and I'm especially proud to say that we have been able to do all this without raising property tax. For 4 straight years, Council has kept the resident property tax at 2.9%, which puts Surrey in the bottom third in all of Metro Vancouver. Only Port Clinton, the Langleys, and Pitt Meadow are lower. The work that is being accomplished by city staff is impressive. Council fully recognizes your contributions and the pride you take in your job. Your efforts are why the City of Surrey is recognized for a wide range of rewards, from financial reporting, corporate culture, to excellence in parks and rec facilities. The accolades continue to roll in. I have said this before, and I will say it again. Surrey has the best and hardest working staff in all of Metro. Thank you for the great job you do day in and day out. The health of our city can also be measured in how we care for our natural spaces. To be a thriving city is to be a green city. The geography of Surrey has given us a head start. The city's green infrastructure network comprises of 3,900 hectares of green corridors, forests, wetlands, rivers, and shorelines. As blessed as we are to have so much green space, we can always do more to better the environment. Since November of 2018, City Council has committed over $45 million in new parkland acquisition, resulting in 225 acres of new parkland in Surrey. Council continues to look for opportunities to create more green space. Our last parkland acquisition was in March with the purchase of a 9.3-acre lot in Redwood Heights. Increasing Surrey's urban tree canopy goes hand in hand with new parkland. Last year, the city planted 10,000 trees on city property. In 2022, we have increased that number of trees planted to 12,000 trees. The city's tree sale events are also contributing even more trees planted in Surrey. 4 times a year, residents can buy a maple, dogwood, assorted fruit trees for $20 each only. 1,000 trees are available at each sale, and they are quickly sold out. In total, 4,000 new trees are added to Surrey's urban canopy from the city's tree sale every year. The work we are doing on this front is getting noticed. For the 3rd year in a row, Surrey has been recognized as a member of the Tree Cities of the World. Other tree cities of the world include Barcelona, Stockholm, and New York City. Surrey also has the distinction of being the first city in Metro Vancouver and the largest city in Canada to implement a plastic bag ban. I am glad to see that this ban has spurred major retailers, such as Walmart, to ban plastic bags across Canada. This next initiative really strikes a nerve in this time of sky-high gas prices. With each passing day, we are seeing more plug-in hybrids and electric cars on the road. When 39% of emissions in Surrey are coming from gas cars, the switch to electric is a very good thing, and Surrey is doing its part to help get more electric cars on the roads. One of the big barriers for many thinking about buying an EV is range. That's why Council has been rapidly expanding Surrey's public electric car charging network. Starting with 6 chargers 10 years ago, Surrey will have close to 100 public EV chargers throughout the city by the end of the year. We won't be stopping here because our aim is to have the largest public charging network in all of BC. I want to turn now to my favorite thing about Surrey, my favorite thing over all my 50 years of living in Surrey. It's the people. Every day I go out and talk with our residents and businesses, owners. While we may have our differences, we all share an immense pride for our city and a willingness to help. When the Fraser Valley flooded last year, volunteers of one of Surrey's Sikh temples came together and sent 3,000 plus homemade meals to the people who were stranded in Hope. The Love Where You Live program, which I launched 3 years ago, has seen residents and businesses routinely step up to make their community better. Last year, participants contributed 1,700 volunteer hours, cleaned 208 kilometers of Surrey roads, organized 75 community cleanups, and over 200 people committed to the weekly 20-minute cleanup challenge. So without a question, each of us are doing our part to elevate our city. To say that I am optimistic about Surrey's future is an understatement. As you have just seen and heard, we have made good on the big to-do list that this council started out with almost 4 years ago. We knew we had an ambitious agenda and that there would be bumps along the way. I have never said it would be easy, but the bottom line is, what council sets out to do, we have done. The promises we made, we have kept, and we have delivered. With what this council has accomplished, Surrey rightfully has taken a seat among the major cities of Canada. But the work is not done. There are new heights to be reached, and we are just beginning. Can you imagine where Surrey will be in another 4 years from now? From my vantage point, the sky is the limit. Together, we can and will make Surrey to new heights. So let's get right to work in writing the next chapter of our great city. Thank you all for being here today.
Let's hear it one more time for Mayor McCallum. What a great... Thank you so much for your service to this city for so many years. That was a fabulous update on the many initiatives the city is currently undertaking, and we are very much looking forward to the future of this city. Once again, I would like to thank our sponsors for making this event possible this morning, FortisBC, KPU, SFU, and UBC. Let's give them one last round of applause of thanks. And thanks to all of you for coming this morning, for giving up your time and joining us here at the 2022 State of the City Address. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. One of my favorite quotes from Margaret Mead. So that concludes our event. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.